Greetings. First thing we'll do is have pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And next, as is our tradition, we have a moment of silence for those who passed the line of duty. Thank you. Let the record show that everybody is present today. Nobody is absent.
Mayor.
Pardon me, I am corrected. The mayor is gone. Let the record show the mayor is gone, so that makes me the presiding officer today. I'd like to welcome our new attorney. Thank you for stepping up.
Sure.
We look forward to working with you in the future.
I'm excited.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, we will review the minutes and entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, there's been a motion made and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? No. Okay, thank you, everybody. Let's see where we are now. This new program is confounding. I'd like to recognize our visitors today. Thanks for being here. With that, I will open this up to Lutheran EMS report for December of last year.
Afternoon, Mark Peppel with Lutheran. I don't really have a lot to add other than this is our year-end report because we're running a month behind, with reporting style that we're doing right now. The two indicators that I'll just talk about that I look at for the territory are on the second page, if you look at it, is total time, and it's the dispatch into the location that we arrive at. For the entire year, it was 4.5 minutes, 4.59 minutes. So that's pretty good. I mean, that's a really good time that I would think. For that reason, I think that the next one that I look at, and this goes back to your last page here, then is where the trucks are responding from. And I think that's the reason that drives that number down so low. So about 93% of our time that we were responding from our east station or the south station that we call it here in town. So most of the time, many of the responses coming from into town or into the territory are coming from those two stations, so that's really good. Then the next station would be our Leesburg station, so all our ambulances start moving in when we start getting busier within the community and that. So we're trying to keep those trucks local into here, because this is where most of our volume's at. So those are the two that I really look at to see what kind of response that we're giving you, at that time frame. Pretty exciting to say we're at less than 5 minutes.
So I was just going to ask you, is 4.59, is that 4 minutes, 59 seconds?
It is, yes. Sorry,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I was not saying that
It's not
very
in
well.
tenths.
Yeah.
Tenths
Yeah.
of a minute, okay. So nearly 5 minutes,
Yes.
okay.
Any other questions that you have? All right. Well, thank you.
Everyone good? Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay. Chief, looks
Yeah.
like item number 2 is on you.
Yep, so the month of December, again, we are 1 month behind, so this will be the month of December. We had 298 responses, and of those 298, 85 incidents were overlapping for 28.5% of those incidents. In the 100 category, you'll see we went to several building fires and a couple other type fires, a cooking and fuel burner, and vegetation fires for a total of 9 in the month of December. The assist to other agencies, I apologize, I did not get this filled out correctly. So of those, we did have mutual aid come in from Winona Lake for us on some of our fires. And then some of those fires that we responded to were also out of our area. You'll notice Louis Dreyfus, we assisted Claypool Fire Department. We assisted Pierceton on a house fire. And then we also assisted Winona Lake on a house fire as well. So we did have aid from them, and then we also did request Leesburg to come in as well and help us on that. Again, I apologize for not having those on there. For the 200 type categories, we had no runs there for the month of December. We had 202 rescue or EMS type calls. Hazardous conditions with no fire, which is our 400 category, we had 13 total. Service calls, which is the 500 category, we had 10. Good intent calls, the 600 category, we had 19. And then false alarms or false calls, which is the 700 category, we had 18. And then severe weather, we had 0. And then special incidents, which consists of our cares, and then citizens complaints is our 900 category. We had a total of 30 there, 29 of which was cares, and then 1 was the citizens complaint. So our district totals for the month of December is Station 17, which is the downtown station, 114. Station 13, which is the Center Street station, we had 122. And then Station 15, which is the 200 South station, we had 33 calls. And then CARES had 29. As far as training for the month of December, we completed 258.75 hours of training. A lot of EMT skills. Again, in the month of December when it's cold, we'd like to keep the trucks inside. So a lot of this training was done inside type training, but then on some of the nicer days, the guys did go out and do some pre-incident planning, some ground ladder, some aerial orientation, and then pump training as well. In the month of December, we had 6.91 hours of community service through various activities. Obviously, with the holiday break, we weren't in the schools as much, but that's what the 6.9 hours was from, was that, and then some of station tours that we did. So that is the December report, if anybody has any questions on it.
Just a quick comment, it was good to see overlapping below 30%.
Yes, it's
That's
not,
the first time in a long time.
yes, it is.
And I was gonna say, I did some quick math, you had a total of 198 calls and only 1 complaint.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Well, and that citizen's complaint call can be a variety of things, and it all depends on how the guys inputted it as well. But that can just be somebody calling that, hey, my neighbor's burning. Is that what that complaint was? So it really depends on the person that's inputting that data on where it goes in our system. But through the review process, the battalion chiefs typically catch if there's any errors in that, and so yeah, I hope there's no complaints. That's the end goal.
David, where are you seeing the overlaps?
The very, very top paragraph, he makes comment in bold that overlaps were 28.5%. The very first page, all the way at the top.
Okay, I was looking for the chart normally.
Yes, and so
Comes with it.
that's one of the things that in this program that we have, I'm toying with the data, and I particularly don't like how these reports are written. I think there's an easier way that we can express that data and have a general overview and a snapshot. So in messing with that and you are correct. In December, I did leave off that, that overlapping page, and that was just because it doesn't tell you anything about the types of calls that were overlapping. It just says there was an overlapping call, so I thought it was just redundant. So if you would like, I'm more than happy to add that
No,
back
no,
in.
no, I
It's
just-
there
I-
wasn't any data there, and I don't want to make a mess of, especially with this new program, it's tough to navigate sometimes, so.
Okay. Any other questions for the chief or comments? Okay, thank you, chief.
Yep.
You all should have the CARES update on your desk in front of you. Is anyone going to talk? Tanya,
am.
thank you.
I'm Tanya, I'm the other half of CARES, and you get to listen to me today. We just put this report together. We are a month ahead of everyone else, so to catch up, we're just going to kind of give you a look at our year. Michaela did a really nice job. When CARES started, it was just an admin and someone doing it on the side. Now there's 2 full-time employees, Michaela and myself. Our numbers for the year, 763. New consumers, which are people that we meet for the first time, 458. Those categories are just the way that we kind of designate what we're helping them with. Let's see. I don't want to read everything to you. We have some testimony from people that we collaborate with in the community, Senior Center and Dispatch. CIT, I don't know if Michaela's talked to you about that. It's crisis intervention team where we're training first responders on how to handle mental health calls in a different way. We've had 2 full classes go through, getting ready for the 3rd class in May. It's been well received, and we're seeing a really big difference on calls with CIT trained officers. It's been very helpful. Family Safety Day is a big event for everybody. We had 22 vendors of people who offer services to people in our community that they could stop by the tent and chat with and figure out what they need. And the last page is just kind of the trainings that we've been doing. Michaela and I are both QPR trained, which is basically CPR for suicide prevention. We do offer and train city employees, people we collaborate with, so that they are also QPR trained on that. I became a CIT coordinator this year to help Michaela with the CIT. It's a very big program. We both do the CISM, which is for our first responders when they go through a traumatic event. We have a team that kind of helps them debrief through that. Karen, our admin, took CIT and graduated from that class. And then Michaela became a car seat technician, so she can help people properly install car seats, which is important. So, any questions for me?
If not, thank you.
Thank you, Tanya.
Okay, item number 4. Chief, we're back to you for items 4 and 5.
Yep, so the first one is the expenditure report for the operating fund. As I looked through it, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary, again, other than it's the end of the year, so paying the stipends and the cell phone and those sort of things that we pay out quarterly. You'll see those in there. But other than that, I didn't see anything that jumped out unless you guys have any specific questions on anything.
I'll give you guys a minute just to look through if you want to. Anyone see anything? Okay.
Okay, moving on to the equipment replacement fund. Again, nothing stood out to me there unless anybody has any questions on anything.
Again, I'll give you just 30 seconds, take a look, see if there's anything jumps out at you. Slow Tech Plumbing, what's
Do you have a page number?
first, 4410? I'm sorry, that would be, well,
Okay, I see a Station 13,
Yes,
the 20, so that is a encumbered amount, so that was a PO that we got anticipation of the, we were trying to use some leftover money from 2024 to upgrade our HVAC equipment at Station 13. So it's, again, getting hard to find parts. We had some money left over in '24, so we PO'd some of that over into '25 so we could complete those projects and get those replaced.
okay.
And they have, obviously, again, we're a couple months behind, but they have completed most of that. They're not 100% done with it, but it was needed. Some of our office staff doesn't have to use space heaters anymore to stay warm, so.
It's a plus.
It is a plus, so. But yes, so that's what that is for.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Yep.
Does anybody else have any
I'm sorry.
questions? Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Yep.
Okay, that's the end of written communications. Unfinished business, there is none. We'll move to.
Excuse me, sir.
Sorry,
Should
yeah.
we take a vote as to
Oh,
putting
yes,
this in the
thank
record,
you,
sir?
David.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. I'd make that motion that we accept the above aforementioned reports as given to the board.
I'll second.
I
Any
say,
further discussion? Call the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you, David.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, on to new business. CARES. Tanya, accepting a K-21 grant.
yes, we're just asking for permission to accept the grant for QPR books.
Well, usually accepting a grant, there's not very much downside.
No, and it allows us to give the proper books out when we go and train all the employees of the city.
$2,472.
Yes. I
For
think that's
some
1,000 books, yeah, for us.
Okay. Any questions on this? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I make a motion to accept.
And I'll second that.
Okay. Any further discussion here? I'll call the question. All those in favor of accepting the K-21 grant, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, very good, thank you. And then item number 2,
Yes, so it's, I'm going to ask Captain Drew Schilling to come up. He's the Assistant Dive Commander for the City of Warsaw Dive Team. So I will have him come up.
well, before we do that, okay, I see, gotcha, thank you.
Yep.
Is this the grant request?
Yeah.
In November, we applied to K-21 for a grant on behalf of the city dive team for a underwater ROV, which is basically a drone to help us with searches and rescues and recoveries. We are notified that they are awarding us that grant. It's a total of $57,428. That covers 100% of the drone or the ROV, as well as 2 days of training for 10 people. So I'm here to ask permission to accept that grant.
Well, I'd make, I'd make that motion to accept that.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion from anyone? If not, I'll call the question. All those in favor of accepting the grant from K-21, please
Aye.
signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you.
Passes unanimously. Thank you. And Item number 3, permission to host a Dive Rescue International class.
Yep, and Drew will have this one too.
Again, fire department is looking to again host Dive Rescue International on behalf of the city dive team. It'll be July 28th through August 3rd. We're doing a series of 3 classes. And those are critical skills diver, which is just a lot of those skills to help teach our divers to be more comfortable and get themselves out of trouble. Evidence recovery and light salvage recovery, which is lifting cars and anything from cars to small airplanes. We've hosted them before. There's no cost to us other than the normal registration fee for our divers to attend classes. It's a good program. It brings people from out of state to attend these classes as well. And this was passed the last Board of Works meeting as well.
Chief, you have any comment or input on this?
No, just other than thank you to Captain Schilling for putting in the work on behalf of the city dive team. It takes a lot of logistics. It does bring a lot of people into our area. So we're grateful for that. And not only that, you'll notice in the travel request that we just sent 3 divers to Michigan for ice dive class, and it cost a significant amount of money to send them there. So with bringing these classes here locally, it does save us a lot of money. And again, it doesn't cost us anything other than the entry fee for the students. And again, it's nice. On top of that, we have a good working relationship with Dive Rescue International. So this is how many years is this in a row?
This will be
Captain Schilling?
This will be our 5th or 6th time. It's like our 4th year in a row, I think.
Okay.
3rd or 4th year in a row.
So
So,
they like it because obviously there's a lot of bodies of water that they can teach a lot of their different disciplines in their class. With this, I don't know that Captain Schilling, I know he said it at the Board of Works meeting. With this, though, we will ask Center Lake boat ramp be closed. We've worked it out with the Parks Department.
yeah,
And
we've held the lifting and salvage class before, and we had to use the boat ramp, and we post it like a month in advance. So it'll be posted. Everybody will know that for those few hours on that day that the boat ramp will be in use for that class. So fortunately, we have plenty of other options to go fish on.
So yeah, excited to host them with your guys' approval.
And this has gone to the Board of Works and it has been approved.
Correct, yes, it went to the Board of Works already on 1/17/25 and was approved.
Okay. So you're looking for this board to approve it too?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Captain Schilling, any other further?
Unless you have any other questions.
Okay. Anybody?
No?
Okay. I'd entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve.
Jeannie's made a motion,
I'll second.
seconded by David. Any further discussion? If not, I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Chief, you had mentioned travel requests, so let's move on to travel requests.
Yes, if we could back up, I do have one walk-in
Oh.
order of business for for new business. So you should all have a packet in front of you with a letter from me requesting a contract or entering into a contract with Birch Kaufman LLC for legal representation. So Jack Birch is here tonight. After talking with him and a couple other local attorneys, we've decided to ask your permission to enter into this contract. Jack will replace Andrew Grossnickel due with his notification of him not interested in being the territory attorney anymore. I would suggest we go with Jack. So the agreement is a little bit different than what Andrew Grossnickel did. So Jack is asking, and I don't want to speak on behalf of him, so I'll ask him probably to clarify it as well. But $3,000 retainer fee and then $250 per hour rate. But with that retainer fee, that's going to cover some of the simple phone calls that I have, just minor contract work and stuff like that. And then any major work will be $250 an hour for up to 10 hours. And the reason we capped it at the 10 hours is because with doing it a little bit different and the higher retainer fee that Jack and I kind of agreed to with the budget that I have for 25, we wanted to kind of put a limit on it. And then Jack's been great about discussing, hey, we'll work it out. Jack, do you have anything else? I mean,
I don't know that, I mean, I've been doing this municipal work for probably virtually all my career. This particular contract, I spoke with some of my colleagues as to how they were handling things. I think I'm pretty comfortable. This is similar to every contract with a municipality is different, depending on what the needs are. Some want to do everything completely hourly. Some want to have a retainer and only budget and only do hourly for certain projects. I'm flexible as long as we have an understanding of what we're doing. I'm fine with, and I do have clients that go both ways. I'm fine with doing meetings under the retainer and the various communications and fairly simple things, routine things would be falling within the retainer. And then we'll talk through those items that should go as hourly. I would look at that as the larger contracts and things like that, project kind of things. In talking with Joel, it doesn't sound like there's going to be significant projects on an annual basis. So I think this is going to cover it pretty reasonably. But as I said, Scott Royce and I talked about sort of I figured he probably had a sense of what the job sort of entailed. So this is kind of the best we kind of came up with. The hourly rate, I'll tell you, is a discounted rate from what normal rates are. It's in the ballpark of what municipal rates are going at this point, so.
And I did, not that I don't trust Jack or anything, but I did want some form of attorney to review the contract for us, and Scott did, the city attorney, on behalf of the territory, or at my request, review this. He had no issues with it and said that he felt comfortable with it. And again, I think him and I discussed a few things too, and he thought that this was a very good rate and would be good for the territory, so.
From my perspective, it's a very standard, and I looked at Andrew's contract, it's virtually identical to his. It's a very standard engagement from a law firm, so.
And again, I apologize that it was short notice, but I thought it was very important to get it here in front of you guys today. And then if approved today, it does also have to go to the Board of Works, so I plan on taking it to the Board of Works on Friday as well.
Well, based on my limited knowledge of what goes on behind the scenes with contracts and dealings, I can't think that the odds of exceeding the 3,000 a year, I think, are minimal. I mean, it's not what we do. We don't get into a lot of contracts, negotiations. So I would.
Yeah, and one of the things that I expressed to the mayor too, as we spoke about this, was we are the Warsaw-Wayne Fire Protection Territory. We are not the City of Warsaw Fire Department. Now, some of it does mix, but we both felt, and Scott was in agreement, that we do need our own legal representation in case there is any issues that are territory versus city, or city versus territory, or maybe it's both of them, Scott and Jack, on behalf of the territory and the city, fighting if there was any other legal things to come before the territory. So, again, I think it's very smart to keep it separated.
They are separate entities, and thankfully, most do not have issues. I have seen issues between municipalities and territories, but it doesn't happen very often, but they do need separate representation. They are separate.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying.
Sure.
Thoughts, comments?
It's fine.
Do you need approval, board approval on this?
Yes, I would,
Okay.
I think because it's a contract, and again, I'd go to legal for that to make sure, so, and I'm sure.
Yes, you do.
But, yeah, yes, I would feel a lot better if you did.
I make the motion to approve the contract.
I'll second.
The motion's on the table and has been seconded. Any further discussion? If not, I'll call the question. All those in favor of this new contract for our new legal representation for the Warsaw-Wayne Fire Territory, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Passes unanimously. Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay, Chief, now travel
Yeah.
requests.
Yes, thank you. So the first two you will see are for firefighter Aaron Bollinger. So in his previous role here at the Fire Territory, he was the city or the Fire Territory's representation at the Healthcare Coalition meetings, and through his engagements there, they had asked him to be a director and sit on kind of what I would consider the executive board. So firefighter Bollinger is in my opinion, the best person to represent us currently on that. So that is kind of a blanket request for, they do meet once a month. So those first two items for firefighter Bollinger are for one meeting for the entire year. They meet in Plymouth once a month, so that's what those are for. So that's why you see the dates being 1/25 to 12/25. Moving on, Battalion Chief Keeney, you'll see him 3 different times in here, and that is just for his EMS in-service for his level that he needs. So he's going to a pediatric emergency, advanced cardiac life support, and then, sorry, I just lost it, advanced medical life support. So he is going to North Webster for those if approved. We have several, Lieutenant Allen, firefighter Kevin Terrazas, and firefighter Keener going to ice diving in Muskegon, Michigan. And again, that helps both the Fire Territory and the city dive team for them going there. And a lot of people ask why we don't have an ice diving class here. Michigan gets a lot thicker ice, and so it's more of a realistic training than what we would have down here. So it's better off to send them off on those specific skills for those. Firefighter Nick Cole, probationary firefighter Delton Moore to attend Fire Officer Academy. So that consists of the FOSS, the Fire Instructor 1, and the Fire Officer 1. And that course is in Leesburg. Lieutenant Jason Neer to attend Angola Professional Firefighter Annual Seminar. Firefighter Tyler Colt, firefighter Lucas Ellsworth, and then Fire Marshal Williams should be on there as well for their investigator certification. You will see firefighter Aaron Bollinger have his Investigator 1 in-service request. That is him attending some of those classes while he's on duty to go there to keep up his continuing education hours. So the state requires us to keep up on education hours for that, so you'll see him travel for those as well. Both CARES going to NAMI's Mental Health and Criminal Justice Summit in Indianapolis. And then firefighter Kevin Terrazas to go to Improved Fireground Search for a one-day course. Lieutenant Jason Neer for Cruel Intentions course. And firefighter Updike for lithium-ion battery class at FDIC, which is a national conference held in Indianapolis. Firefighter Quentin Stamper for pre-hospital trauma and life support in North Webster. Firefighter Jackson Hastings and firefighter Kevin Trozis to go to basic ground ladder course. And then firefighter Aaron Bollinger for tank car specialist course. So again, a lot of different trainings for all of our members to go to. So I know it was a lot, but does anybody have any questions over that?
You know, the thing that jumps out at me is firefighter Updike going to a class on how to fight lithium-ion batteries
Yeah.
fires. That's really, I think, becoming more and more, apparently more and more important all the time.
It is, and especially with the electric vehicle world, there is just a lot of different things out there and a lot of different ways that you can fight the fire, a lot of different options to just, I guess, more tools in the toolbox to know what to do, and not every situation is going to be the same, but to build that Rolex in your mind to, hey, this is an option that we could do. These are the pros and cons to it. These are the options we can do. And you have to make those decisions fairly quickly.
And none of them are what I would call traditional. I mean, these are different fires.
No, yes, correct. It is, yes. And again, just the way that the chemical reactions happen. If it's a vehicle battery, let's say, that is the odds of us putting it out, it can be done, but there's, again, that risk versus reward. What are we going to do for that? So, and then again, just a lot of very complex, which is why, and he's done a lot of different classes. So he's kind of helping drive the policy and the procedures that we're going to have internally in the fire department when it comes to the lithium-ion batteries. So if you go back in history and look at the other travel requests that he's done, he's kind of found his niche with the electric vehicles and the lithium-ion batteries, and trying to figure out what's best for the fire territory and how we can combat those. And a lot of people just think it is the electric vehicles, but it's also the batteries that are in your cell phones. It's the battery that are in some RC vehicles. It's not just the bigger
And power
batteries.
tools, a lot more power tools
Yes.
today have these batteries. And they're
Yes.
sitting in people's garages on chargers, maybe for weeks.
Yes,
And,
yep.
Yeah, I think that's really important. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions over the travel requests?
Well, I would make a motion that we approve these travel requests.
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Okay. Other matters that may come before this board. Anybody out there? Don't fall asleep. Okay, our next meeting is March the 4th. Hope to see you all then. Hopefully the mayor will be back. There's no further business.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
So, we're done, finished. Thank you, everybody. Meeting's adjourned.